Climbing to honor the bravery shown on 9/11, how the community came together to show their respect. Plus, support continues for a Rockford nonprofit broken into over the summer, the car show bringing vets and car lovers together to support the Veterans Drop-In Center. And shopping small while celebrating big, the block party held to let small businesses show off their stuff.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Blake Dietz. Thanks for joining us this evening. A special moment at Guilford High School today. The 4th annual Rockford Hero Climb took place, honoring those who braved the events on September 11th, 2001. Participants climbed, ran, or walked, memorializing the 110 stories that first responders climbed. Eyewitness News reporter Tyler Sorensen was there.
A day of remembrance and honor of those who lost their life 24 years ago, while also trying to promote mental health.
We were trying to find a way to bring awareness towards mental health needs for first responders in the area. So we partnered with the Greg Lindmark Foundation and decided that we were doing a 9/11 centric event to honor the fallen from the World Trade Center from 2001.
There were over 100 individuals that took part in the Hero Climb, an event designed to simulate the 110 stories that first responders climbed on 9/11. Now included were multiple firefighters from different agencies, all of them doing the climb in full turnout gear.
Just seeing somebody go up and down the stairs with their gear on really, I think, solidifies what they were doing the day of that tragedy. It really gives you a full picture of what that could have looked like, would have looked like in the towers on that day.
Each participant was able to grab a lanyard from the memorial wall, recognizing someone who lost their life during 9/11, with everyone able to learn their story and draw strength, knowing they are not just doing it for themselves.
About halfway through, your legs are shaking, you can't breathe, so you take a rest, then you remember what you're wearing. As soon as you put one of these things on, it tells you about somebody who did it for real. Gives you a little more motivation to go up those stairs.
It's such an honor just to climb for someone that unfortunately did not make it out of the 9/11 attack and did everything they could, but fortunately they didn't get to go home to their families. So it's such an honor just to come here and climb for them and honor them in a way that we can.
Reporting in Winnebago County for your home team, I'm Tyler Sorensen.
And another event was held to support our heroes today. The Rock Valley College Veterans Club and OCD Car Club came together to host a Veterans and Community Car Show at Rock Valley College. In addition to plenty of awards on the line, food trucks and a 50-50 raffle were available. Now, proceeds from this show will help support the Veterans Drop-In Center in Rockford. That's a nonprofit that was broken into back in July. They suffered hundreds of dollars in losses. One of OCD Car Club's founders says giving back to the community was a main driver in starting the club in the first place.
We wanted to help kids and we wanted to help veterans and we just wanted to put it back. So we decided to start a car club. And so I got together with some of my friends and I started this club, and it's all about the community and helping others, children, veterans, anyone. If they're in need, we are there for them.
Now, the overall winner of Best in Show took home the $100 grand prize. Supporting local businesses through a block party. Rockford kicked off its 3rd annual small business block party in downtown this afternoon. The event featured the skills of local small business owners, showcasing things like homemade sweets, trinkets, clothing, and a lot more. There was also a kids zone where children had activities to play with, while a live DJ kept the party hopping. Organizers told us why visitors are shopping with these local vendors.
Well, the best part about a lot of our vendors is the customer service. So the experience they'll get today is so close-knit and family-oriented for the community. I think they'll be pretty happy with it.
Kylie sauce, her chamoy sauce, she actually puts that on fruit. She puts it on candy. So she has a lot of great items for sale.
And it's homemade.
Yeah.
Not store-bought. This is homemade.
Homemade.
Other local services available to attendees include body contouring, haircuts, and roadside assistance. Roscoe Lions Club held their 55th annual Fall Festival this weekend with live music, rides, and, of course, a whole bunch of good food. Organizers say it's one of the longest running events of its kind in the state line. All of the proceeds from the event goes back into the community through different scholarships and donations to different charities around the Roscoe area. The Roscoe Lions Club president says the fest represents everything that the club stands for.
That's what this is all about. So it's always been about. I mean, it's a family, it's a community, and everybody's come out. Last night was incredible again. Probably one of the best nights we've ever had. Basically, some of the food vendors ran out of food. So I mean, and just all the generosity given from the community, we give right back to them. But it's incredible.
Organizers say the event of this scale requires year-round preparation, and they're already getting ready for the 56th annual fest. Russia has launched its largest airstrike on Ukraine to date. After the break, the latest in the war between the two countries, as Ukraine calls to put more pressure on Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Temperatures today started in the 30s for some and only rebounded to the 60s yet again. I'll let you know just how many years we have started out the month of September with this many days below 70. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Russia has launched its largest air attack so far in the war with Ukraine, continuing increased targeting of the capital city. Ukrainian officials calling on the international community to put more pressure on Vladimir Putin to stop the war. Alex Perche has the latest.
Smoke rising from the skyline in Kyiv after the largest Russian air attack since the war began. Sirens sounded across the country and residents fleeing for bomb shelters. Flames coming out of the cabinet building in Kyiv, marking what authorities said was the first strike on the main government office since the war began. Ukraine's Air Force claims that Russia launched 810 drones and 13 missiles into the country in the latest barrage, of which 747 drones and 4 missiles were shot down. Authorities adding at least 8 people are dead, 60 are wounded. Less than a month ago, President Trump hosted Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska for talks aimed at ending the war. But since then, Putin has escalated his attacks on Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke with ABC News chief global affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz before this morning's strike about not being asked to attend that meeting.
It's a pity that Ukraine was not there because I think that President Trump gave Putin what he wanted.
And he called Putin's invitation for him to come to Moscow a delay tactic.
I can't go to Moscow when my country is under missiles, under attacks each day. I can't go to this capital of these terrorists. It's understandable, and he understands it.
Zelensky writing on social media that strikes like today's are a deliberate attempt by Russia to prolong the war. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
And as Rockford officials warn of potential ICE operations in the city, President Trump continues to threaten to send immigration enforcement to Chicago. And many expected to see Homeland Security operations in the city this weekend, but that has not been the case so far. ABC's Alex Stone was in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood today.
We're in the Little Village area of Chicago. This neighborhood is predominantly Mexican-American, and people here tell us that they are scared, that the people have disappeared from the streets, that there are vendors who are no longer showing up, that it used to be that these streets were just full of vendor after vendor. Still, some have decided that they are going to show up, but they say the customers are gone now that would have been here during Mexican Independence Day celebrations a year ago at this time, going on this weekend and next weekend. They feel like it is that fear that immigration agents are going to come into this neighborhood specifically that has all of those staying away. The vendors telling us this.
Last year we see a lot of vendors, street vendors with all this type of merchandise, and this year I don't see that many. Maybe they are scared.
All around Chicago, there is tension right now, waiting to find out what is going to unfold, if anything. Around the Federal Building in downtown Chicago, there is anti-scale fencing that's up right now, and there is worry in these communities that immigration agents will be moving in. Alex Stone, ABC News, Chicago.
Well, I might broken record, but yet again, it was another gorgeous day in the state line. How long will the good times last, and could we see temperatures pushing back into the 80s in the upcoming week? Meteorologist Jordan Wolf joins us with his forecast right after the break.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
It was a chilly start to the day across the state line today. Some temperatures made their way down into the 30s. And in Rockford, this is the first time we were below 40 degrees since early May, bottoming out at 39 in Rockford. 34 was the low temperature in Rochelle, and many other spots hovering near or just below 40 degrees. And that cooler stretch has not been excluded to just those overnight lows. We've also been pretty chilly for those afternoon highs as well. We've now made 4 days in a row where we have failed to reach that 70-degree mark, including 69, the high temperature today. That's actually only the 4th time that we've had 4 days below 70 degrees for those afternoon highs to start out the month of September in all of Rockford's history. That's back well before the early 1900s when records have started, and only the 4th such time that we have started out the month on this cool of a note. Temperatures still very chilly out there, at least for normal standards. 68 in Rockford, 66 in Rochelle, 63 in DeKalb, Poplar Grove, 68 Dixon, 69 in Sterling. Mid-60s in other spots up to the north in Wisconsin. Our weather watcher Kevin out in Lena reporting 66 degrees, 43 the dew point, a northwesterly wind at about 6 miles per hour. We do have a mostly clear sky and not a whole lot of cloud cover to talk about. Some patches of clouds showing up with many of our Mercy Health SkyTrack cameras across the area, and those clouds likely will continue to fizzle out as we head through the evening. As the sun sets, we'll lose out on that cloud cover and the influence of high pressure takes over. That'll once again clear us out and allow for our temperatures to drop very quickly. Broad area of high pressure. The only area of precipitation on this map is well up to our north and to our northeast across the Great Lakes. With that clearing sky, our temperature again bottoms out, eventually down into the low 40s. But as our wind flips around ever so slightly, eventually to the south, even though it's a light wind, it may keep our temperature propped a little bit higher than where we were earlier this morning. So 42 for that overnight low, the forecast in Rockford, still calm and chilly, but underneath that mostly clear sky. And that warming trend also continues for tomorrow. That southerly wind going to play a big factor, 5 to 15 miles per hour, but 74 for tomorrow's afternoon high. A partly cloudy sky, otherwise very comfortable. So we're starting to see that steady climb in our temperatures, but that also comes with a slight climb in our moisture and eventually some slight rain chances as well. Here for Futurecast, we're dry for Monday, but you see those rain showers starting to form well out to our west in Iowa, where there's a little bit better moisture for Monday afternoon and Monday evening. Some of that approaches the area for Tuesday evening and possibly even into Wednesday as well. Notice Futurecast really not all that great with our coverage, and many spots should end up staying dry during that time, and there's not a lot of rain to deal with. Many spots will likely stay underneath 1/10 of an inch, and those who see more of that rain still stay underneath 1/4 of an inch of rain. So really not any meaningful rainfall on the way in the short term, and we get the warmer trend that starts to kick in as well. We'll see those temperatures climb from Monday, 74 to 78 on Tuesday, and then eventually near 80 degrees as we head through the middle and end of the week. That's actually hovering just above average, 78 degrees, the average high temperature now for this time of year, and we'll likely hold on to that warmer trend even as we head into the middle part of the month of September. So 74 for Monday, 78 though by the time we get to Tuesday. Slight rain chances Tuesday into Wednesday, very isolated to scattered in nature, and then hovering near or just above that 80-degree mark for a few days. Our next rain chances building in, still ever so slight, but into the weekend.
Yeah, summer's making its one final push. Thanks, Jordan. Drew's in next with sports, and finally, the first NFL Sunday is here. We'll have some highlights across the league and an updated score on the Packers game. That's coming up next. And a quick recap of the Cubs and White Sox and how they played today.
Now sports with Drew Collins.
It is officially the first NFL Sunday of the season. There was a ton of great games on today's slate, so let's go ahead and jump into some highlights. Let's check out former Green Bay Packer and future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers on his new team facing his other old team, the New York Jets. Most people were expecting this game to be low scoring, but so far it's arguably the most entertaining game yet. Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns, no picks, 22 for 30 on 244 yards. Meanwhile, former Chicago Bear Justin Fields also played well. Fields had 3 total touchdowns, no picks, 16 for 22 on 218 passing yards. But the Steelers win a shootout over the Jets 34-32. Chris Boswell nailed a 60-yard field goal to win it. Packers and Lions have been a great game over in Lambeau. Green Bay got the ball first, went down the field and scored. Jordan Love led the way. He finished the drive with a touchdown to Tucker Kraft and Cheese. After that, the Packers packed on 3 more with the field goal. After a Lions field goal, the Packers then scored a touchdown on a 2-play drive. Jaden Reed was the one that secured that touchdown. So the Packers win in the halftime, leading 17-3. It is now 17-6 in the third quarter. Although it's the first NFL Sunday of the year, Bears fans still have to wait for their season opener. The Bears will host Monday night primetime football tomorrow against NFC North rival the Minnesota Vikings. Head coach Ben Johnson discussed his final remarks before kickoff tomorrow night.
Listen, I feel comfortable going into this thing. I'm surrounded by a lot of really good people. I can't stress that enough. I really can't. The coaching staff is top notch. It's just the next step, and everyone's got a first time for everything. So this should just be the first time I'm a head coach in a regular season.
The Cubs were searching for their 3rd series win in a row. They host the Nationals for the series finale. It looked like the Cubs were going to get the job done. They led 3-1 going into the top of the 9th, but then Daniel Palencia blew the save. He gave up 2 homers and 5 runs in total. The Nationals won it 6-3. The Cubs will now head on the road to face the Braves tomorrow. The White Sox have won 6 of their last 7 coming in today's game against the Tigers, and they add another win to the collection. They beat the Tigers 6-4. The Sox combined for 11 hits on the day while only giving up 4 runs. Lenyn Sosa led the charge with 3 RBIs. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Well, Jordan, it's been so unseasonably cold for so long that I thought we might not see another 80-degree day. I thought summer was already over this early.
Yeah, we're actually guaranteed to hit 80-degree days at some point in September. Every single year on record, we've at least had one 80-degree day in September. Our earliest last 80-degree day of the season in Rockford, September 10th. So we were pretty much guaranteed to at least see one more, and we've got several more on the way here as we head into the week.
Yeah, especially with September 21st, something like that being the official astronomical first day of fall. So we're still in summer.
We're still in summer, exactly. It doesn't feel like that at all, especially when you woke up to 39 degrees this morning in Rockford.
Chilly.
But we are going to see those temperatures climb as we head through much of the next week. We still have a clear sky tonight. First one interactive radar from Rockford, Glastonmore. So we're back in the low 40s again for the overnight, but we return to 74 for Monday, 78 by the time we get to Tuesday, and then most of our days the rest of the week near or just above that 80-degree mark. It does come with a slight chance for some rain showers Tuesday into Wednesday, but many spots staying underneath a quarter of an inch during that time.
Yeah, well, it looks like summer is returning after all. Thank you, Jordan, and thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your night.